the stat master JD is in the house. And we got playoffs going. We finally got some playoffs happening, man. It's been eating at me, watching all this pond hockey for the last week. I can't wait to get back into some real freaking games. And here we got them. We got 3 games we're going to be getting into. JD will to give us a take on the games. You think you can give us a little look at some of your series plays as well? In this as well, or you want to wait and get? No, it's the game. So yeah, you put your series plays out and the picks and stuff like that. JD's got about 50 minutes, so we're gonna get all of his expertise and the time that he has, and Dre will be on later. So how you been going there, JD?
I'm going well. I mean, it's I'm just continuing to do deep dives into tomorrow, and I'm looking here, just even with the opening game tomorrow with Carolina and Ottawa. I mean, there are a couple of things that stand out to me as I'm trying to just even, handicap the series as well as the game on Saturday. And 2 things that stood out. One, James Reimer played in both the losses. They met 3 times this year. They lost twice. Ottawa lost twice to Carolina. Reimer was in net for both losses. Ullmark was in net for the 1 win. So, I think, and yes, Carolina didn't have a full lineup against the Senators in that game, but the big thing is that he wasn't in net for any of the losses. So that's one thing that stands out for me. The other thing, Pearlo, that stands out for me is that I went back and, I'm looking at the standings. I'm trying to do my write-up, and look, everyone, a lot of people are like the Senators. They seem to be the fashionable play, and I get it. And I can understand why. I mean, they only finished 13 points. They only had 13 fewer points than Carolina, despite Carolina winning the division and Ottawa being in that wild card spot.
Right.
So not a big difference here. But here's the number that really stands out to me. The Carolina Hurricanes had 39 regulation wins. The Ottawa Senators had 38.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So 13 fewer points, only 1 less regulation win. They get themselves a little bit of goaltending, Ottawa, earlier in the season. And I think this margin is a lot closer. And, you've talked about the fact that, both these teams are really good shot suppression teams. I think you've even mentioned this on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
The Ottawa Senators held Carolina twice to 19 shots on goal.
And those were lost.
Pardon?
They lost those games, Ottawa.
And they lost those games.
Right, because Reimer was in net.
He couldn't make a save. He gave up 4. Carolina scored 4 goals in each of those games.
Yeah.
So, they can. I don't think that they're intimidated in any way by the style of the Hurricanes. I don't think this is. I don't think it's as big as a mismatch as the line would indicate. So I think that, although I think Ottawa is a very public play, I think it makes it. I can get behind it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was a little surprised. I don't know if it's public or is it just heavy money on I'd have to, I don't know about that kind of stuff, about whether it's heavy public or if it is sharps putting tons of money on it, or is it a sharp play? It's just a lot of sharps are all over Ottawa for the same reasons you just said. I was a little surprised that it was such a popular play. I was looking at this long before they played Carolina. I was thinking, you know what? I mean, and I've been saying, I did take Ottawa to make the playoffs after the Olympics. So obviously I'm very high on them already. And I just thought if they can get their goaltending situated, they got a chance here. A plus money. I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm more than leaning that way. I'm going to bet them to win this series. I'm not going to put huge on it because Carolina's speed does scare me. I mean, you can't say Carolina and not think about them swarming your offensive zone all over the freaking place,
Yeah.
hitting and the the offensive possession they're capable of. So Ottawa, but like you mentioned, Ottawa seemed to keep that under wraps for 2 games, and those were not bad spots for Carolina. Those 2 games, it's not like they were coming off 3 games in 4 back to back or something like that. Those were good spots, and they did it, and they were doing it to more than just Carolina at that time. So they've shown that they can do it. Obviously, Carolina did end up beating them in shot suppression at the end of the year, but for a lot of the second half, Ottawa was the leading shot suppression team in the league. So
Yeah, but I'm more like I'm more worried like the overall shots on goal difference, or I want to see how it matches head to head. Like 82 games means less for me.
Mm-hmm.
82 games means less for me as opposed to their head to head matchups.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the other 79 games. I'm going to focus on the 3.
I'm just thinking that if Ottawa can do what they have shown that they can do against Carolina, and Carolina already is a good shot suppression team, it's going to come down to goaltenders. And I'm a little flaky about what, Bussy's shown that he's been really good. And then he's had, down the stretch, he looked a little flaky. And of course, if it's not Reimer,
Freddie Anderson, which I believe it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, geez, that guy just hasn't looked good too often this year. I'm a little surprised that they're going that way, afraid of the rook, I guess. But I think if it comes down to it and they can do what they've shown they can do, I'll take Allmark to keep his head straight to win this series than Freddie Anderson. So for the plus money, I got to take a shot out of here. And I think Ottawa is also the bigger team. Like they're sturdier. They're more physical. Is a better way to put it. They're the more physical team. They're more capable of dirtier tactics and grinding it out a little bit. I mean, Carolina's not afraid to hit you either, though. They kind of kill you with a million.
Well, I think actually they don't. So Ottawa had 300 more hits this year than Carolina, but I think that's more a reflection of the fact that the way that Carolina plays as opposed to. I don't think that they're less physical. I think that they hold on to the puck more.
Yeah, they have the puck more. Yeah,
right. So they're more apt to be hit.
Ottawa's shown to have the puck quite a bit too. You're not a shot suppression team without it. So they're hitting more as well. Yeah. Absolutely.
So this line has moved towards. I mean, I had this line opening up at about -170 for the game, and I'm seeing now it's -150.
Yeah.
So when I go on to, VSiN has a bet splits page, and according to their bet splits, and they've got I'm looking at the DraftKings bet splits. Let me see well, DraftKings has the Hurricanes taking 91% of the money and 86% of the bets. Yet this line though,
a lot of the bets too.
Yeah. Right, but the interesting thing is that even with the fact that they're taking all this money, the public play is Carolina.
Yeah,
but the sharp money must be going towards Ottawa if the line is moving to Ottawa, despite the fact that all the money is coming in on Carolina.
Yeah,
so I find that. So that's what kind of stood out for me. The other thing I looked at, I'm going to grab this. I mean, the total's at 6.5 in a lot of spots. I'm grabbing the under 6.5. I went back and took a look. Under Brindamore, 12 of their 17 first round games have had 6 goals or less.
That's why I love you, buddy. Coming up with stuff like that. Yeah, that's.
So I like the under 6.5 at about -130.
And I could see this being a feeling out game too. So I do like that under 6.5. I don't think I think they can. It's going to be very It's going to be it could be a very strategic game. It could be a very strategic game going back and forth with each other. So I like that under. Although, yeah, I do like that.
And it's
It's kind of,
interesting.
doesn't it feel like a game that could go like over in the first, both teams to score and then just settle out, like really just
I'm
get
not.
tight.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not going to get involved with that part.
Yeah,
By the way, Carolina only 10-7 under Brindamore in Game 1. They have won 7 of their last 10 Game 1s, but overall under Brindamore 10-7.
yeah. I think if Ottawa wins this first one, then you're really getting because Carolina at home is tough, man. They
Oh,
got
very.
the matchups and stuff like that. Like if Ottawa gets this first one, I think that's really looking good for them. So yeah, it's going to be
Oh,
one hell
look
of a
good
game.
for any team to steal Game 1 on the
So
road.
what are you leaning here for the game then?
Um, what did I do for the game? For now. Right now I've got a couple of player props that I went with. I've got a Drake Batherson goal and an assist. I'm going to split a half unit on because he has really good numbers against Freddie in particular, and a Svechnikov goal at plus 180. I'm leaning to. I got to wait until tomorrow for the numbers on a Stankoven Jackson Blake point parlay. Uh, they're just on a roll going in. So those were some of the
Uh,
things I was looking at. I may get to. I'm not sure yet about. I got to wait for those prices to come out on points and assists, which I haven't seen. I don't know if they're. I haven't seen. They weren't available at FanDuel when I was looking earlier. Um, so that's where I'm targeting this game for now. I don't really see it there. Yeah, like I'm not seeing assists or points yet, so I don't think we'll get those till tomorrow. I'm laying off. I'm laying off the side in total. I'm trying to. I got to go back and take a look. I don't think I played anything in this series for a. I didn't play anything like to go to 6 or 7. Um, I was a little lukewarm. I didn't really have a good feel. So that's the way I'm looking at. That's what I've got for Ottawa, Carolina. Um,
Nothing, and series is kind of hard for points for players because they're both kind of deep teams. Carolina
well, I
gets
do have Batherson and Svechnikov to lead the series in goals. I'm hoping
okay.
one of them will cash, just because Svechnikov's got really good numbers. He's got 5 goals in 9 games against Allmark. He's gotten 1 goal in the only playoff game he faced Allmark. So he led them, I believe, last year in goals. Pretty sure in the playoffs. I mean, I can understand there's some love for Ehlers. I get it. Wouldn't be a bad play, but I grabbed. Let me see if I can pull up my numbers here. Um, uh, I did take the Senators for the series at plus 145 when I grabbed them. But yes, Svechnikov to lead the series in goals at plus 850 and Batherson at plus 700 for the two player props that I took.
Yeah. I guess if I haven't had much time. Like usually, I'd be looking at like, can you still get uh most shots in the series and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that?
can. I've got that. I did that actually in the Buffalo series.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
I took Tage Thompson to lead the series in shots on goal.
Okay.
He had 22 shots, by far and away more than anybody in the 4 games against Boston, and I got that at plus 170. Um,
Where did you get that
Draft
at?
DraftKings has that,
DraftKings. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that.
so
Yeah.
that was one that was my way of kind of playing Buffalo because I figure if they win, I think he's going to be a big factor. So I looked at a series that was my kind of like my series prop for Buffalo.
Okay, you got that under player props, I would imagine, right?
Go back. Let me go pull it up.
Series player props, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So most shots on goal is like the third one in, at least on my screen. Third one in from the left.
Shots on goal in every game. Okay, yeah. Shots on goal.
Yeah. So that was that one. Just to slide over to Minnesota, Dallas. You know, I initially had put in play the series to go to 6-7. I kept that, but then I did tell Alex, who I like his idea of playing both teams to win in 6-7, and you can come away with some good money there as well. You're screwed, obviously. I just don't see. I don't see a sweep. I don't see 5 games. I think both teams to win 2 games in the series is realistic. So I grabbed that. I grabbed Kaprizov to score the most goals in the series at plus 370. He's got 9 goals in 12 games against Ottinger, and as much as Vegas tried to shut him down last year, he and Boldy still led that series in goals with 5. So I'm bullish on Kaprizov. Uh, the concern I have for tomorrow from the Dallas side or from the Minnesota side is just what's the status of Quinn Hughes? He didn't practice the last 2 days. He's been dealing with an illness. He flew to Dallas on his own, did not fly on the team plane. He hasn't been around the team for quite some time. He wasn't even there for their final home game when they did the jersey off the backs. So he hasn't played since last Saturday against Nashville.
Okay.
So definitely, that's a big difference. If they don't have Hughes, or I mean, I'm sure they're shooting them up with IVs or whatever they
I
need.
didn't know about that. Yeah, without Hughes, I can't take Minnesota.
So I think like before I get involved in playing that game on Saturday, have to know the status of Hughes. By the way, Dallas has lost 8 of their last 10 game ones, and prior to last year, 5 of their last 6 game ones, including their game one against Minnesota, had gone to overtime. Game ones have not been very good for the Stars in general. Last year they won 2 of 3, but prior to that they had lost 7 of 8. Or they'd lost 7 straight.
Yeah,
they'd lost 7.
Quinn Hughes is shown in the lineup on Puckpedia, which is a positive. But
well, yeah, but I don't care what. Look, I don't know what updating they're doing.
I'm just saying that's a positive. Usually, when it is like I don't know where they get their information
but Pearlo,
from. But
I don't know where he's gathering his information. I'm reading from John Hymes saying he hasn't practiced for 2 days. So you can
Yeah. Even if he plays, it sounds like he had something pretty bad there.
Well, he hasn't been on the ice for a week.
Yeah. No.
So the very fact that they didn't put him on the team plane, obviously they don't want him to get anybody else sick. So
I kind of I mean, with that, I kind of like the Wild in that first game. Oh, look at that! It's Alex. Thanks for coming in, my buddy. Friend.
But I did play a Maverick Bork assist and a goal. Got his assist at plus 425 and his goal at plus 380. And I think it's better than playing, slightly better than playing his point prop, if I remember correctly. So that's how I attack this game. Yeah, it's wait and see right now until we know the status of Quinn Hughes.
Alice is saying that team source written by Russo fully expect Quinn to play tomorrow. So there's a couple lines that show that kind of give you the impression that it is here. Again, Rousseau says Wallstat will start, and that was what I
Yeah.
was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. I'm really I've got a lean. I don't think I'm not going to bet this series before. A lot of people are on Dallas. I understand that, but I don't know. I got a funny feeling about this Minnesota team. Um, the only thing I don't like is that Hartman on that top line gives me the willies. Uh, but you got a great shutdown guys at Boldy, Kaprizov shit can shut down. Eck is really good. Johansson's not bad. I mean, it's they play a system that allows the goaltender to see the shots. They do take a lot of shots, but Dallas is not a high shot team either. They look for opportunities, but they're a good opportunity team. I mean, I could see this going either way, but I have a funny feeling about Minnesota in this series. But that's hard to do because they haven't had success for so long. Like it's hard to go against that curse or whatever you want to call it, or just not being able to get it done. Just simple as that.
Not being good,
You
right?
haven't been able to see them get it done, and now you're going against a long trend here if you're going to put money on Minnesota. So,
Well, you're going against a good team. I mean,
and you're
look,
going against a good team. Yeah.
both these
Yeah.
teams, they split their 4 meetings. The home team won both. Yeah, and I'm seeing the quote. I mean, here's the quote from Hymes. I think mentally and physically, this little break is probably really good, even though he's under the weather and not feeling well. But I just think mentally, sometimes just getting away from it is good. Our expectation is he'll be ready to go. So at the same time, you kept him away from practice. It's never mentally good to keep a guy away. If he's not practicing the day before a playoff game, that's not good.
Hmm.
So I think he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth. I mean, he says here originally he was going to fly with the team, but I just think with the illness, I think more rest for him and just not to have him on the plane made sense.
No, he also doesn't want everybody else to get sick.
Right, but I'm
Yeah.
saying so. He's not good enough to travel on the plane with the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure. Look, I'm. It wouldn't
A
shock
little
me to
bit
see
of an
him,
X factor there for sure.
but I
Yeah.
can't until we know that he's playing. Just be careful on how you want to bet Minnesota tomorrow. Um, that's all. That's all I'm saying with this.
I think
Um,
I'll put I might pre a draw, but the draw number is probably not very good. Um,
the draw number. Um, Draw number is plus 320 at Bet Rivers.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. So that's draw is 320, and I mean, look, I hate, it's not, one of their games went to a draw, but it's so I can't compare playoffs. And I'm just looking. I'll just take a look at what I say now. It's 5 of their last 9 games have gone to overtime in game 1. So that's how I'm looking at this one here. And then Flyers and Penguins. I need to do a little more work on this. I mean, I'm beyond the Martone stuff. I'm tempted to play both teams on the puck line. Both the Flyers on the reverse puck line at plus 285, and the Penguins at plus 175. I went back and grabbed my numbers from last year, but round 1 last year, 32 of the 47 games last year in round 1 were decided by 2 goals or more. So if you played both teams on the puck line, you're going to be you would every game you would have been ahead. I would consider it. I think if it's an over, it's the Penguins win, so I'd be on the Penguins team total over. Just their history this year of 38 of the 41 games. If you think Pittsburgh's going to win, then play their team total. That would be my
and that's the thing. I mean, yeah, this is going to be an interesting series to watch. It's going to be an interesting game to watch tomorrow. Interesting. I'm kind of only thing I got series wise in this is for it to go 6 and for it to go 7.
Yeah, but at the same token, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 5, and not because I could see bad bounce here and there that ends up costing a team a game. That it wouldn't shock me. Like that's I'm. I laid off. I think I laid off. I'm pretty sure I laid off. Did I lay off on this? I thought I did.
What did I have? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I took the Flyers at plus 140 to win the series. I played both Owen Tippett at plus 900 to lead the series in goals, and Martone at plus 2200 on a smaller bet to lead the series. And then I took Martone to have more points than Anthony Mantha at minus 110. And that's available at DraftKings.
Okay, so for the puck line for both teams, you get, what did you say you get?
Pens were minus 1.5 at plus 175.
Okay.
And the Flyers were minus 1.5 at plus 285.
Oh, okay.
So,
one thing I sometimes like to do is I'll play both teams to score 1 in regulation and a team to win in regulation. And you can get the Flyers at plus 220 for that. So you could bet both teams to score in regulation and Flyers to win in regulation at plus 220, which bump it up. You think you said it was plus 180? Well,
the Flyers,
reverse puck line was what?
For the Flyers, the reverse puck line was plus 285.
Oh, it's 285. Okay, that's a better price then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you play the Flyers,
that's the way to go then. Yeah. Okay. Feel better Philly to go 7. Yeah, I'm really interested in that series. Is for so much. You've got a green team going up against a veteran team that's been there before. You got if Philly plays a type of game I'd rather bet on to win the series, and Pittsburgh is just one of those teams that they're highly intelligent players that can pick away at a system, and it's a 7 game. Like Philly did a really good job of it in the regular season, but now you're playing against the same team 7 games and a very intelligent team at that. You got a smart, intelligent coach there. You got Crosby, of course, been there before. How can they make the adjustments to get around that Philadelphia system? And does Philadelphia play? Can they get rid of the jitters and nerves and stuff that come and be able to not get too high, not to get too low? That happens with young teams playing against that, where if you're going from that perspective, I feel that Pittsburgh has more of a chance to be able to do that because they've been there. So it's this is really one hell of a series.
Right. But that's why I think it's also just as easy as I could see it going 7. I could see it going 5.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
I just feel better.
If it goes 5, which team do you think most likely is the one that wins in 5?
Well, I mean, look, I bet the Flyers at plus 140.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not confident enough to bet, a series, how long the series goes. I just took the Flyers. I went with strictly from a value standpoint. That's first and foremost. I'll take the plus money. I just don't trust Pittsburgh. Too much pond hockey for Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, I don't like playing pond hockey teams in the playoffs. And I think the Flyers have been playing playoff hockey since the Olympic break.
Yeah.
So
Pittsburgh's going to have to change. I think they're going to have to change a little bit in the playoffs here now and be able to grind it out. They've been getting away with really, like you said, pond hockey, and you can do that in the regular season. You can out
Right.
energy a team, play fast, stuff like that. You got a lot of teams, but I got to see an adjustment if that's going to be the case. And the Phillies shutting them down early, and I don't see an adjustment. I don't know. I'll try to maybe make a bet in there too, but you got me leaning to put a little on Philly now too. Just yeah. It's that first game is going to be big. Really going to open my eyes to maybe something because if Philly for some reason allows them to be able to pass like they can in the D zone for certain amounts of time, they could be in trouble. I mean, when that Pittsburgh team is dialed in passing the puck, they are quick, man, super quick. It's just a question.
For the most part, I don't get hung up on what happens in an individual game in the playoffs because my feeling is like, look, Dallas, Minnesota, whatever happens in game one ain't going to change my feeling for game two because I think the series is going 6 or 7. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm not like, it just doesn't matter. Like, and players are very good about just short-term memory. And yes, you want to correct your mistakes, but there's just hangovers just don't happen. The momentum goes from shift to shift and not from game to game.
Yeah, that's true.
What players tell me. So,
you can change your momentum in one period, for sure, no doubt about that.
Yeah. So that's what I got right now for tomorrow. I need to do a little more work on Pittsburgh, Philly, just overall for props. But I think still the big news is really Quinn Hughes. By the way, the last time that Philip Gustafson played a game in Dallas, he gave up 7.
Yeah. He's not going to be in net though. So
no, not Gustafson. I'm sorry, Wallstedt.
Wallstedt. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now that game, there was no Brodeen, no Spurgeon, and he had just been recalled coming off of an injury, so it really wasn't fair. But I'm sure that I just wonder if that's in the back of his mind. Doesn't change. The only thing that's going to change for me is Quinn Hughes, in or out.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. So
I think for that game, I think for the series, I might bet just about every game no goals first 5 under 6.5. The first game I'm a little concerned about, but I still think that's Dallas plays that collapse system around the goaltender, and they do a good job of it. It's really good. It's a simple system, but if you do it right, it's really tough to penetrate that type of defense. And Gullerson's been doing it in everywhere he's been, and he seems to get his team doing it very well. So I think it's going to be tough to score on them, and I think Volstad is going. I mean, I love that kid. That kid looks great. The thing is his first play. It's his first, right? It's pretty much he hasn't played.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But man, that kid's one hell of a goaltender. So, and he gives me vibes of that kind of young goaltender that doesn't get shook by this. The playoffs here. He gives me those vibes. So I think the no goals first 5 under 6.5, and I'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, it only cashed in one of
kind of lean mini with those numbers you gave for Dallas first games too. So
yeah,
wouldn't be bad to take mini if you like Dallas. Take mini first game in Dallas full.
And what? I'm so sorry.
Mini first game in Dallas for the series, I think would be a pretty good bet, pretty good price if you really like Dallas, because you said Dallas seems to struggle first game, so
yeah,
bad
yeah. I don't know what the only reason I'm not interested in playing Minnesota tomorrow in any fashion is just I'm not interested in plus 107 or whatever. It's just not enough for me to get so excited. I'd rather find some props that have the potential for a greater return, in my opinion. So that's just kind of the way I looked at it. I was just I thought Jason, I forgot. How can I miss Jason Robertson? I'll be playing him. He's got 14 goals in 19 games against the Stars. Against the Wild. How did I leave him out?
Yes, Steven Jackson. It is. JD brought that up as one of his bets. That is one of his bets. Thompson to lead the series in shots. So.
Oh yeah, Tage Thompson. Yeah.
Apparently, that is Andy Francis. I love Andy Francis. Apparently, that's one of his bets too. So I didn't hear that today. I thought I watched that his show today. Or no, I don't. I think I missed that series one for him.
Yeah, I was trying to find a way to play Buffalo, and when I was going through the numbers, like just the head-to-head numbers from this season, that's the one thing that stood out for me. Because Zucker was the next guy with 13 shots, and Thompson had 22. And Thompson was seventh in the NHL in shots on goal this year.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to get the puck off that guy's stick.
Right. So I don't care if he scores, but I just thought at plus 170 that was.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, they're not really thick down the middle there with Lindholm and Zaka. They're gonna have a tough time with that big boy. But he's playing. Is he playing? He is playing center now still, right? They got Tuck on his right. Yeah, if he's playing down the middle there, it's going to be tough to handle that guy. I'm going to bet that too. Yeah, that's a good bet. That's a good bet. And Boston gives up a lot of shots. Swayman has kind of saved their ass quite a few times this year. So yeah.
All right, I'm adding Jason Robertson at plus 400 to lead the series in goals. Can't believe I missed that one from before. So, and I'll add him tomorrow for an anytime goal. Let's see for tomorrow. I mean, it's probably not the greatest number, but he's only plus 125.
Yeah, I got him playing at center.
Okay. All right. I gotta grab some to eat. And I don't think I really have anything more to add for you for tomorrow. I mean,
that was all the games?
That's it. Only 3 games. Call it a day.
Oh, yeah. And the 3 series too. All right. Are you going to be on all
tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, and tomorrow morning we'll be going over all the series as well, right? So yeah, I'll be on tomorrow morning as well.
Okay.
Dre's going to be on here in a half an hour, so I'll just kind of babble on here like I know to do. If you need to go eat, thanks for coming in, JD.
All right, bud. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow, my friend.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Doan plus 900 for goal tomorrow? What was that? Maverick Bork, yeah. I wonder if that kid's going to be able to rip it in the playoffs. You gotta remember, like Maverick Bork, he was doing a lot of that scoring in some pond hockey too, right? Same as Savoy. I'm not really sold on Savoy playing top line through the whole playoffs. I'm not sold on that yet. Against that Anaheim team, I mean, Anaheim can't play defense to save their life. They've only got 2 players that can play D on that team. Really. Like players. Like Lacombe and who's the other player? And the other player is not like top notch or anything like that. Lacombe is a beast. But besides that, like literally nobody has even Leo, like people like Leo Carlson, some shots hasn't been this year. He hasn't played that way. Troy Terry's not bad, but a lot of players on here either just haven't got figured. They're a young team. Coach A is not. Ryan Paling is definitely not. That's probably where we're having a lot of issues and maybe thinking about moving on. I mean, he is just I don't know. I don't know if it's his positioning. I'm going to really watch him because his underlying analytics are brutal. Michael Granlund's not, Seneca's not, Killorn can't do it anymore. He would probably be one of the better ones. Kreider used to be, but is not. Like, seriously, Truba's not, Mintayukov's not yet. He's only 22. I mean, got to have time to grow. John Carlson was 2 years ago, but since he went, they haven't been even told to, or I don't know. They're not doing it. That's all I know. They're not doing it. And Dostal has really struggled as of late as well. But what was my point on this? Oh, yes. So against Anaheim, maybe Savoy's able to stay up there. They got nobody to really shut him down. But they do got some big boys up there he's going to have to deal with. Savoy had points in his last 20 games. 5 of them came in pond hockey games. You know, they were pond hockey games. This is the playoffs now, baby, right? The coach was putting him against low competition all year long. And then when he feels safe that it's not going to be a physical game, they put Savoy up on top line with McDavid. He was putting him up there occasionally, bringing him down, But for the most part, he didn't play up there. And now the Draisaitl is going to be back. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're going to fly this way to start. I don't know if he's going to stay that way maybe not even the whole series. I would not be surprised if Savoy is down on the third line. Right now they're putting Hopkins down in the middle there. And he's got to be shackled with Roslovic and Henrique on the third line, which is not going to be fun for him. But at least they have a guy that can play against top competition. Again, same as I said last year with Edmonton, and even more so this year. Henrique is not a third-line center. He's a fourth-line center at this stage of his career, and not even good at that. Jack Roslovic never should be in a bottom 6 of anybody, unless he's playing with some shutdown guys. Like Brenda Moore used to play him with Stahl and Jarvis down on the third line, which is basically just two guys are gonna play complete D, and Roslovic is gonna ride their coattails till they get to the offensive zone. That's what he did there. In this situation, Nugent Hopkins has got a lot to do here. Jack Roslovic can drive play a little bit. He's pretty good that way. But that's not a good third line. Fortunately for them against Anaheim, it probably isn't going to hurt them. Colton Dock, Josh Szymanski, rookie, Trent Frederick. This here, man. It's not good. You wonder why Evan Bouchard coughs up the puck a lot? Because he's got to pass to these guys that are getting overmatched in the neutral zone all the time, like constantly. They're not in their spots, or like Jack Roslovic will get caught in the offensive zone all the time, not make it back to a spot, and Bouchard's sitting there going, I got nobody to pass to here. And I know he can scoop back, let everybody get back, and then go there, but that destroys the whole Edmonton game. Their game is to move the puck super fast. They're not a zone defense, slow out of the zone. Everybody makes sure we get out, kind of rugby style team. They want to move it quick. Thank God Coffey came back and started telling these guys, look, I mean, just get in your fucking spot. All I need you to do is get a stick on it and get it into the zone. Like, don't play around with it. Don't nothing. Just get a stick on it, get it out of the zone. And that's what he was doing in the playoffs. And the bad part about that is it's not very good for development of players, like to do that. But if they're not trying to win tomorrow, they're trying to win today. And so that I don't think it's going to hurt him here in Anaheim. But when they get into some deeper teams, if And Alex, if you're still there, he said, like Jason Dickinson, the guy gets hurt. Here he is again, hurt. How long is he going to be hurt? It's a leg. It says day to day. But for this series, they'll be fine, especially with Draisaitl in. But they need Jason Dickinson if they're going to win a cup here, I think. JD came back. Sorry, JD. I was looking at something else. Did he come back? No, he's gone. What time do we got here? I don't even know how I'm going to timestamp this. I'll probably start timestamping it when I get, or I'll do it after. But I'm just going to play around with that. This is the way I look at series, and this is how I make my. Just when it comes to a series, there's certain things that are paramount for me. Of course, playoff experience has got to be one of the most important things. Absolutely, no doubt about it. It took me a while to realize don't bet a wad on green teams without playoff experience because this is a different animal altogether. And don't bet a wad on a team that made it through the regular season playing high flying, quick pass, low D, offensive type game, like the Florida Panthers when they won their President's Trophy. I took them. I think I took them to lose in the first round. Same as when Tampa Bay back in the day when they played Columbus. Same thing, and they learned their lesson from there. You gotta be able to play shutdown hockey in the playoffs. You have to. You're not going to out. It's not the 80s anymore, man. The only team that has come close to do it playing that way is Colorado. And they still had shutdown players. Like in this era, Colorado. And they still had Landeskog, healthy Landeskog, Lehkonen, Nichushkin. These are all shutdown players, man. And, really good D. But they did kind of play that way. They had a lot of guys that were blowing zones like McKinnon was at the time. So was Rantanen. Rantanen was blowing zones like crazy. Now, going back on that to go to the Dallas series, Rantanen this year has actually bought in, man. He's bought into Gullickson. He has had his best defensive data of his career this year. And that has me kind of wondering about taking Minnesota. Seriously, that is so important to have a guy like Rantanen buy in the way he has. And, you got Robertson, don't have Hintz. You got a lot of guys that aren't capable. But the guys that are capable seem to be buying it. You got a guy like Duchesne, I don't know if he didn't figure it out or if I don't know. He never did. Never has his whole career. He's just not going to. It's just not going to happen. So, it's back and forth that way. But like I was saying with Savoy, I think he's going to drop down. It's possible. I hope I'm wrong. I want the kid to succeed. It's cool to watch him scoring and stuff like that. But really, when the games were serious, really serious, and you weren't playing against, kind of nobody gets hurt, but we still want to win type hockey, Matthew Savoy was getting shut down quite a bit. And now, we'll see. Now it's playoff time, so we'll see what happens. But that's a tough. I'm going to wait for Dre. Dre is coming in, so I'm kind of waiting for Dre to pop in before I talk about the best bets for tomorrow, Stu. And I don't really. Right now, I'll give you a quick one. I think the under no goals first 5 under 6.5 in that Wild Stars game might be my fave. Flyers Penguins. I think the first game could be an over in that one, and if that's the case, if it's an over, I'm leaning the Penguins to win. Yeah, I'm leaning that way. Flyers have just not been they scored more and definitely going down the last 20 or after the All-Star break, but they still didn't score a ton. They mostly won by being just a really good shutdown team. We'll go into that. Why not? I'll get into the reason why the Flyers. First of all, Rick Tocchet is just a freaking awesome coach. I've said it for a long time. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to go back on it. I had arguments with my puck and deep friend who thought otherwise. Well, he didn't really think otherwise. He just didn't like him as much as I did. But I thought it was a great hire. And anytime you can get Tocchet, it's a good hire. But Tyson Foerster, Trevor Zegras has dude. This guy was Trevor Zegras was like, if there was a minus war for defense, he probably would have had it in Anaheim. I swear to God. And last year too. This year he ballooned to 50% above replacement in defensively. Freaking, that is awesome. And they got him playing center now, and he's still doing it. But Forster is a shutdown guy. I love him. I love this line. Owen Tippett, Zegras, and Forster. I love this line. Love, love, love. They can be a shutdown line, and that's, I don't know if they can be an offensive line. You can play them against anything. I love that line. They can do it all. As that line grows into itself, I mean, Owen Tippett's the more veteran of the bunch there, and has really just grown into a really good defensive, offensive winger with the great shot. He's just bought in really well. And Zegras as well. Zegras has played really well. Tyson Forster, at his age, at 24, I'll tell you, watch out for this kid, man. He is something else. I like him a lot. Then, you got your offensive possession line with Konechny, Dvorak, and Martone. Play them in the offensive zone as much as possible. Get them off the ice when it starts heading the other way if you can. But they will drive play from the D zone too. So if you're playing with good defense partners, that's what you want to do. You want to play them with your best defense partners so they don't spend too much time in that side of the ice, because they're usually pretty tired by the time they get to the other side of the ice. That's why when I say sometimes players are not great with defensive analytics, because they spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, and by the time they cycle well down there, and by the time it's going the other way, they're freaking tired. But that's that type of line that's going to be really interesting. Christian Dvorak does have quite a bit of playoff experience with Montreal, so that helps. But not much playoff experience in these lines so far, right? That's pretty much the big problem here with Philly is, okay, you did it in the regular season against random teams that you were going to play on the road, or, coming in, catching teams in bad spots. In your own bad spots, which I like. They've won a lot of games in bad spots in Philadelphia, and that shows really good character, especially for a young team. I always look at that when I'm looking at thinking about the playoffs. I like to take teams that win in bad spots. If teams are losing in good spots, like really good spots, I question character there. But these Philadelphia quite often won in bad spots, and that's always a good sign. Noah Cates, I mean, he's just bloomed. He's a really good two-way guy. Excellent. He can shut down guys not too bad. You don't want to put him against elite competition all the time, but in spurts he can. And Matvei Michkov has just blossomed again this year. He's going to be. They've really focused on his complete game, and he's buying in. There's a lot of buying in here. And Denver Barkey, I'm surprised too. I mean, he's really done well as a 21-year-old on this team. So you just got a lot of guys that have been bought in, and they're playing for each other. They're just green. They're green. That's the problem. And they're not like the highest scoring team in the world. Their power play isn't very good. That's never a good thing, So because when your power play is not very good, other teams don't mind pushing you around and beating you up, because they know that if you do get a power play, we can probably shut it down. So And then you got that Glendening, Sean Couturier. It's cool that they put Sean down here. I don't know if he's going to stay that way. They might have to use his shutdown ability. He still is a very good defensive center. Should be playing more minutes in fourth line for sure. We'll see how that experiment goes. But if those kids can handle it, he might, he can do a really good job against those third and fourth lines for Pittsburgh. And they're going to need that because that's a deep offensive team there. So Sanheimer, Stalainen, a very underrated D pair. Excellent, very underrated D pair. Ristolainen, when he's not hurt, is a very good shutdown defenseman. Very good. I wouldn't call him a lead or anything, but he's very good. Travis Sanheim is one of the most underrated. And amazingly, you got an underrated guy that, makes the Olympics and stuff like that. He is extremely good. Is he in the class of the elite? No, but he's very good. They got a lot of very good D-men here. Cam York has really blossomed again this year. He's improved every year he's been in the league that I've seen, and just keeps on getting better. Jamie Drysdale has really blossomed again. Like all of these guys, you can't tell me. Like there's talk about Rick Tocchet should possibly get Coach of the Year, and I'm not going to. He's not going to, but I mean, I'm not going to argue it. And you got every single player on a team blossoming like they are right now and playing as well as they have been, and the guy that's held to his belief on what's good for players and has worked as well as he had with this team. I mean, if he was picked, I wouldn't go, oh no, that's terrible. I wouldn't. He's been very good. And then of course you got that wonderful pick of Dan Vladar, who's just held the team in a lot this year. Not the greatest save percentage, but his even strength save percentage has been really good. He's been fantastic and nice pickup. Plucked him, 29, or how old is he now? How old is Dan Vladar now? 28 years old. Yeah. I mean, a lot of goaltenders don't hit their stride till about that age, so it's not really totally a surprise. So I'm in on this. I don't see this being an easy out. I don't see it. But on the other hand, again, I've been burnt so much by having affinity with these green teams. I have been burnt so many times. It's just this one has a different feel to me. It has a different feel. Usually green teams, they're there because they have high offensive talent. And they've been able to outscore the opposition in the offense in the regular season. This is a team that has got here from shutting teams down. And I like to lean that way, especially when you're going against high-flying offense like Pittsburgh. I just got this for JD. 2 props from the Wild Stars series. Jason Robertson leads the series in goals. Oh, no, you already said this on the show. I missed that from earlier, I guess. 11:09. Okay, Dre, where are you going, buddy? Oh, I guess Dre isn't coming on. Okay. So I'll just keep on going by myself. We're going to be on in the morning too, by the way. So I'm going over this just because I'm going to be on in the morning too. I'm doing this because it's more in depth. When I do the morning one, I'm not going to be going in depth like this. So Dre might not be coming on as it stands. So you can get all of his picks in the morning on his channel on Exotic Wagers, on his show called The Forecheck, which is excellent. I like that name. And JD will be on there too, and he'll give you more of his stuff as well. But I'll go through the series here a little bit more. And I'll go deeper into my plays for tomorrow because there's still questions for me about tomorrow. The one thing I do like is that no goals first 5 under 6.5 in the Dallas Minnesota game. Now you look at Minnesota, it kind of gives me the jitters because, in the regular season, they did play a lot of offensive type game. I just think it's going to be tough against Dallas to do that. It's just that collapse zone defense that they play with, Lindell. Like, I mean, you've got big bodies there. That's why they got Myers and guys like that, because it's a very simple it's a very simple structured defense. There's no man on man like Buffalo has, where you have, and I know it's more complex. I'm not going to say it's complicated anymore. It seems to be a word that hurts the feelings of people. Like, it's more complex. It's harder. It's more difficult to learn, and there's opportunities for, if it's done right, it's, I think, a better system. But this system done with big bodies like that is also very, very good. The reason why I think the man-on-man system is better in a lot of ways is it helps more for transition. Playing the collapse system that Gullickson plays, like the zone system, you really got to beat people to the corners, keep people to the outside as much as possible. Try to get to the outside. Where if you're playing man on man, you're more likely to control the puck more in the D zone, which to me is favorable. However, I mean, Vegas won. They won with a zone defense. I mean, they kind of went in and out, but most of the time they were playing zone. And remember when they had those big D, Peter Angelo and McNabb and Hagee, like they were huge back there, and they played zone defense and they blocked shots like a son of a bitch. And that's what Dallas does. So it's going to be tough for Minnesota it's going to be tough for any team to get around that. And then you got Ottinger if it does go through. So going to be tough. What haven't I talked about? I'm leaning draw in that Carolina Ottawa game, maybe. I mean, oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, Swayman over saves, man. I mean, I know that Ottawa's a good shot suppression team. We'll see what the number is. If the number's too high, I may not go that way. But Carolina's coming in with full legs. It's really tough to beat Carolina with full legs. And they go balls out. I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina won the first two and then Ottawa wins at home as well. Like this goes 2-2. I wouldn't be surprised, especially the first game back, their first game on the road against Ottawa. This first game is going to be tough for Ottawa. If they win this first one, I think they've done a lot. I'm almost tempted to take Carolina first game, Ottawa full series. Thinking about it, but let's look at that Carolina series. Now, Carolina is a shot suppression team. They play a man-on-man. All three zones, pretty much. They don't even know what zone it is. It's freaking man-on. It is bitch of a system to play physically on a team. Brindamore has these guys freaking like machines, for fuck's sakes. How come I can't get back to see you guys for a second? There we are. Is it 3 p.m. yet? Hey, Russell, how you doing, my friend? So The Carolina series, I should be. I don't know how I'm going to timestamp this. How long is this going to be? All right, I might have to go back and timestamp it through because the Carolina series. Here's the thing: Carolina's kind of an odd team. Um, they are good. They are a very good shot suppression team, but they do it mostly through offensive possession. And you'd be surprised, but there's like a lot of players on this team that don't have very good defensive analytics. Andrei Svechnikov is one of those guys. He used to, but ever since the injury, it's almost like he's been given a pass a little bit. And again, when you're playing a lot in the offensive zone the way they do, when the puck does go the other way, if the guys can't get it off the ice, they're tired when they get to the D zone, and that can hurt you. But they still manage the shot suppression because they spend so much time in the offensive zone. That's not the case for Seth Jarvis. I mean, he's absolutely fantastic. He's elite. That's an elite shutdown winger. Sebastian Aho is, again, his defensive analytics are not spectacular, but he plays so much in the offensive zone that and it's actually kind of surprising that they are as good as they are. If you watch him play, he plays tired a lot in the D zone. So that can affect the defensive analytics for sure, no doubt about it. And that when they eventually get on the ice, then they're transition again so fast, and their offensive possession numbers are the best in the league. They've always been in the best of the league, and when you have that, your D zone, your defensive analytics can look skewed, a little bit skewed. I kind of hope that Jay Fresh compensates for that somewhere down the road, but he's amazing, so I'm not going to poo-poo on it too much. But Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake, that line has been fantastic. Blake and Stankoven are very good both ways. Excellent. It's a very good line. Taylor Hall just kind of hangs out, hopes the puck hits him. Those two little guys just giver. Jackson Blake is just getting better and better offensively too all the time. So Nikolai Ehlers, I said this when the season started, don't expect Ehlers to be on the top line because he's not a player that is successful against elite competition. That's why Winnipeg played him in the third line, and he wants top line, but he's not a guy. He's a guy that kind of sits in the weeds. He's a great player to play with Stahl and Martinook. I love that line, actually. It's a perfect line. Ehlers, Stahl, and Martinook they are a shutdown line, though. They can shut down the opposition, no doubt about that. But Ehlers can feed off Stahl and Martinook. He doesn't have to play a super possession game in the offensive zone. He can get passes off the wing coming through the neutral zone, which is that's his freaking sweet spot, man. When Ehlers is able to use the speed to the outside and drive to the net, that guy can score, and he plays extremely well that way. He's very north and south in a lot of ways, but in a very good way. A very good way. He's excellent that way. He's got good wheels. He really will. He'll drive to the net for you. He's got to get a shot off. He can get to the spots really well. It's a perfect guy to have with two grinder guys like Stahl and Martinook to get him the puck either in all of the zones. I love that line. It's a great line. This is why it's making it really hard for me to take Ottawa to win this series as I go down here. Carrier, Jankowski, and Robinson is a good fourth line, man. I mean, this team is deep. No doubt about that. Jacob Slavin. Funny thing about Jacob Slavin is the last 2 years, he's still, top-notch defenseman, no doubt about that. He doesn't one thing people he doesn't pull the minutes of most top D though. And actually, if you look, none of these players pull minutes. They roll 4 lines, and that's one of the reasons why they can be so active and aggressive offensively the way they are. But Slavin, 21 minutes of ice time. That's more like a second line D. But he's still a shutdown guy. The thing that Slavin has gone down with him the last 2 years is his play driving. He has not been his play driving has slid quite a bit. Offensive play driving. He's really focused more on short first passes out of the zone, not skating the puck out as much as he used to. I don't know if he's just slowing down a little bit of lingering stuff from injuries he's had or what it has. But he hasn't changed his defensive stature. He's still playing against elite competition and still shutting them down. So it's very good. Jalen Chatfield, he's had kind of a rough year, to tell you the honest truth. I thought he would have been better this year than he has been. But he's been brought up to he's learning to play against elite competition. He was playing further down the lineup before, with Burnsy and stuff like that. And now he's had to adjust to elite competition. And it's been kind of, I'm not saying he's 29 years old. He won't make that adjustment because he has been successful every year. He's moved up and going up against tougher competition on the other side, on the other team. But this year, Keanu Miller has been a beast. Rangers are going to regret that I don't know what he did to piss them off there or whatever. I don't know. That was a terrible trade. Terrible trade. Beautiful move by Carolina. Sean Walker's, he's a decent guy. Second pair. Nothing wrong with that. Gosh Despear, I love the way they use him. Heavy power play time. Play him against lower talent. So he can play offensive. Try to get him out in the fourth line against fourth lines, or if teams have weak second lines, and he can put up points that way, right? Playing against elite talent, it's a little more tough for him. When Slavin was down, you noticed that Carolina struggled, and that's kind of part of the reason why. But down in those lower lines like that, he's good. And Alexander Nikishin's just cutting his teeth, man. He's got a ways to go, but he's not bad for his age. He's good. He's good for his age. He's not as great as everybody's making him out to be in Carolina, but he's pretty good. And then you get to the goaltending, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing that you kind of got to close your eyes and hope. Close your eyes and hope here, man. I think Ottawa's if they are gonna try to just get as much to that net as possible, especially early. Test these guys. Bussy, sometimes he looks like, hey, this guy's going to crush it. And he might. He still might. I mean, he's a young goaltender, so he could be up and down. I mean, there was a time of the year, I remember Alex is one of the best goaltender guys you can know. Said this guy is for real. When Alex says that, he's seldom wrong. I've had some arguments with Alex about goaltenders before, and I stopped. Because Alex is usually right. Alex is fantastic when it comes to goaltenders. So I rely on Alex now. Like if I got a game and there's a goaltender coming in that maybe I don't know, or I got some questions about a goaltender going up against a certain team. I'll usually when I was on the show, I would usually wait till I got on the show or when I'm watching the show. By the way, always watch the Ice Guys. Those guys are amazing. I would like either if I'm on the show or not, I would get on and I gotta hear Alex talk about this goaltender or whatever's going on with the goaltending there. So, I mean, he could dial it in here. He could dial it in. If he does, Carolina wins this series straight up. Bussy dials it in like he was earlier in the year when he was really doing well. My Ottawa preseason bet is gone. Good thing I didn't put much on it. I put more on Ottawa to make the playoffs after the Olympics than I did on the series bet here. Quite a bit more, actually. I really liked Ottawa coming out of the Olympics to win the series, but I think they got a chance here. Leaning that way, obviously, I'm not just leaning that way. I bet it. Gave it a shot, and then I find out that it's the sexy pick of the year for Ottawa to take Carolina, and that's usually the case when sharps are looking at goaltending, and it seems like a sharp play, not as much of a public play. The public seems to be on Carolina quite a bit, and I don't blame anybody that's on Carolina. How can you? I mean, you think about Carolina, you just got that vision in your head about them just swarming teams and just beating the shit out of them in the offensive zone. Just bang, 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 bang. They know, playing that shoot the puck where you can get it type game that Brind'Amour has perfected. Like, it has been a little bit difficult for scoring because it kind of goaltenders seem to be able to predict where you're going to go with it. This year, though, seems to be a little bit different. They've been potting them pretty good in the regular season. Now, that being said, I think that this condensed schedule really benefited Carolina, who are just if you're coached by Brind'Amour, you are going to be an elite fitness athlete. I don't know. I doubt very much that there's any team that is as fit and ready to play physically as the Carolina Hurricanes for a whole season. And even then, they still die out come the second round. We'll see if that happens this year. But this one is going to be a fun series to watch. Now, when you go over to the Ottawa side, now you're going to talk about Nikolai Ehlers again. Here's going to be the difficult thing when you're talking about Ottawa. Batherson, Stützle, Giroux has been. I don't. Did Giroux ever get a Selke? I don't think he did, and it's a freaking damn shame. And he even at his age now, he's still shutting it down pretty good. But that line is more for. It's kind of the same sort of thing as that Apple line, except Giroux is, a little older. He doesn't play power play as much. Doesn't play PK anymore. They keep his minutes down. It's the opposite. His even strength time on ice is lower. So then Stützle. But this is another team that rolls all their lines, man. 17 minutes, 20 minutes for Stützle, pretty much almost the same as Aho. Tkachuk, 17 minutes. They roll their lines. Dylan Cousins, and one of the things I've heard about is Brind'Amour over Green. And don't freaking sleep on Travis Green, man. He is one hell of a coach. He is absolutely fantastic. I think he's going to be a coach for a long time. I actually bet him to win the Adams this year. Probably, even if they didn't have all those Allmark problems, he probably still wouldn't have been able to get it with what Ruff has done at Buffalo, and Coop being, he's got to get his token Adams eventually. Ruff might beat him out this year, but this Tkachuk Cousins combination is wicked shutdown line. Wicked. Cousins has come. When Cousins left Buffalo and went to Ottawa, I was like, are they going to be able to rein this kid in? Because he just ran around in the offensive zone all over the freaking place. And it looked cool, and the fans liked it, but it wasn't good. but this guy has bought in, dude. He has been really grown into a fantastic all around player. And how old is he now? Um, 25 years old. He's still getting better. Brady Tkachuk, again, one of the best shutdown wingers in the game. I love him. For that, I maybe my eyes are just got stars in them because I love taking a team with a Brady Tkachuk. And when you got a Brady Tkachuk, when you got guys like Cousins, there's a grr that I'm not sure Carolina has. There's a will do anything to win. And I love teams like that. That's why I was a big Florida Panthers fan. Florida Panthers team as they been built fan. Don't get me wrong. Believe me, if you think I'm going to be a Florida Panthers fan forever, probably not. If they ever change their philosophy, I'm out. I'm not one of those people where you got to love your team forever, blah, blah, blah. Not me. If you're going to do stupid shit, I don't want to be part of it. Nick Cousins, Shane Pinto, and Michael Amadio, awesome. You got 2 shutdown lines. Ridley Gregg, okay, I mean, he's more important in the playoffs than the regular season. He's a kind of guy that can wear you down. He's not really should be in a second line spot like this. I really wish they would fill that role a little bit somewhere else, to tell you the honest truth. He's making decent money though, and he puts up some points. He's one of my least favorite guys on the team. Nick Cousins, of course, we're talking about. I like to talk about analytics a lot, but analytics can't put a number on what Nick Cousins brings to a series. This guy is annoying as fuck. You need these guys come playoffs. You need these guys that not only wear down the team physically, but mentally as well. He just stays in your fucking head. He gets on his own teammates. Like, he's one of those guys that he gets on his own teammates' nerves. And you're playing with them. Shane Pinto, fucking beautiful this year, man. Beautiful this year. This guy's going to win a Selke. He's going to win a Selke. I'm sure of it. 25 years old. He's still got offensive boost to go. He's going to win a Selke. And Michael Amadio, one of the most underrated wingers in the game. That's the reason why I'm liking Ottawa here. I just think they're a very underrated team. Warren Fogle was a great pickup from LA. I don't know what the fuck LA was doing utilizing Fogle the way they were. I know what they were. His name fucking Hiller and Smith. That's why. Jesus Christ, that what a great pickup that was. They're playing him more on the 4th line here because they're so stacked on the left side. I mean, other teams, and Fabian Zetterlund, again, talk about buy-in. This guy didn't play D-Wish at all in San Jose. Not at all. He would just run around almost like Cousins. Green has honed this guy in, man. This guy has changed his game completely since he came to Ottawa. This 4th line, and Lars Eller's a little light, okay? I'll give you that, even on a 4th line. But it's one of the better 4th line in the game. It's better, I think, than Carolina's. This team is fucking deep, man. And defensively, do you know that Jake Sanderson is the fastest defenseman in the league? Yeah, super fast. You don't need to say much more about this guy. I mean, this guy is 23 years old. I mean, there's going to be a Norris on his mantle before he retires, I'm sure. He's fantastic. Artem Zub is one of the most underrated shutdown guys in the league. Very good. I mean, he's not going to produce offense for you, but he's not going to drive play, but he's always going to be in the right spot in all 3 zones to make sure that he's doing his due diligence, that there's less shots on goal. all the time. He's very good. He's been doing it for 30 years old. He's been doing it for a while, and he's very good at it. Thomas Chabot, again, this is the best he's ever played in his career. Not just this year, last year too. Ever since Green took over again. Now it could be a combination of things. A lot of defensemen take longer to learn the ropes in every aspect of hockey. The NHL game, I should say. And Thomas Chabot has, and he's been underrated. He's underrated now because he used to be like an offensive guy that wasn't very good in anything else. He would basically just run up, try to be the fourth man all the time and stuff like that. But he's toned that right down, and he's really, he's a perfect spot for him in the second. And Jordan Spence, what did I say? Fuck, when LA, unfucking believable. I cannot fucking believe they let this guy go for a second. I just cannot believe it. Here he is, 31 points, 73 games, starting to like spoon feed him tougher competition, and he's buying in. And you watch this guy when he's 27, 28 years old, he's going to be a top right D. Not saying in the league, but on a team. He's going to be. He's coachable. He's got the right attitude. Fucking LA, just trade away Jordan Spence so we can get Cody Ceci. And I think maybe part of it had to do with the fact that Clark was there, and they're very similar players. Okay, maybe I'll give them that. Maybe there's not enough space for Spence and Clark at the same time. Maybe that's true to a certain extent, but they would have been a way better team, and they certainly would have had more chance to win that series against Edmonton if they were playing Spence over fucking Edvinson or whatever. Like, that was ridiculous. I've said it a million times. Now, when you get down to the depth here, Tyler Clevin, it's a little bit worrisome. Dennis Gilbert, yeah. Nicholas Montempaulo, that's where it could hurt me. It could hurt down the stretch with Carolina. Seriously. But that top four is pretty solid. If they can hold it down, keep it limited on the third and fourth. That's one of the reasons why I don't know I can take Ottawa to go long. I just think they need to get more depth on their D, more reliable depth on their D. But the top four is really good. Hopefully, Nick Jensen sounds like he's out, and that hurts. But I think it's worth the shot. With Ottawa. Oh, yeah, I got Russell. I forgot. I should have been watching. I was looking at Puckpedia as I was talking to you guys. He works his ass off. Yeah. Zub has been unreal. I agree. He's been fantastic. He's been very good. Fogle has been, like, what a great pickup. I mean, Stais is doing a hell of a job with that team, man. It's not like everybody's flocking to go to Ottawa, Yeah, it's a little difficult for them too. They got high taxes. You got the colder weather. It's not the sexiest city in the world. It's clean. It's beautiful. Have you ever been to Ottawa? Like, it's pristine. It's got, if you're into like architecture and stuff like that, if you like cafes and shit like that, I mean, it's great. But I mean, if you got millions and millions of dollars, it's not the sexiest name that comes to the top of your head that you want to live in. That's all I'm saying. But maybe if they can keep up success, I hope that this Brady Tkachuk stuff isn't true. I really do hope that. I mean, I know his girlfriend, his family is actually from New Jersey, I heard. And Brady's like, he's an American, man. He's full-blown fucking American. I don't know. I hope it's not true. I like to see Ottawa succeed, man. like those underdog teams that do the right things like this, man. If Edmonton would have kept Steos, fuck, man. Although Edmonton has made some pretty decent moves as of late, I got to give him credit. Dickinson was a good pickup, although he's hurt again, and and Murphy was a good pickup as well. They did do well that way. I still say their depth down there is not very good. Montreal, Tampa. Again, you got this green team going up against the old grizzled vet team. Come to buy in. He's trying. He really is. But, I don't think he's ever going to be a defensive down. Good thing he's a multi-level player like Nick Suzuki playing beside him, though. Like, this guy is fucking unbelievable, man. Nick Suzuki is, like, people are comparing him to Bergeron. I don't know if I can quite get. He's got more. He has more offense than Bergeron, but he gets more opportunity for it too. I don't know, man, but it's hard for me to compare players. But he's up there in that stratosphere. I swear to fucking God, Jonathan Toews, guys like that. This guy is fucking awesome. Amazing captain, great player. Even though he's only 5'11", he's thick, man. He doesn't get fucking pushed around. I really love Suzuki. Slavkovsky having a good offensive breakout this year at 22 years old. But again, is this line going to be able to do it when the grind comes down? That's the worry here. And not just this line. I'm a little more thinking that this line can find a way to produce offense in the Tampa Bay team that's also very good at shot suppression and can keep away better than as good as any team out there. But Alexander Tessier, Newhook, and Demidov, by the way, same thing. Very good 3-zone defensive player for his age. 20 years old, fucking very, very good. But unfortunately, shackled with Newhook and Tessier. And that's going to make it tough, man. That line could really struggle if they keep it that way. Evans, Dano, and Josh. I mean, Dano's one of the highest IQ players in the game. I would not be surprised if he's a coach when he retires. Like, he's that good. But he's lost it. He can't try play anymore. He's lost it a little bit with age, but he's still a good shutdown guy. Jake Evans is not bad. He's not bad as well. Josh Anderson really doesn't do much at this stage, man. I'm telling you. Tries to be physical. They need size and physicality on that team. Like, I get it why he's there. And come to the playoffs, he's more important than he would be in the regular season. But I still think Zach Bulldog has got a little bit of bad press here. He hasn't been. He's been actually pretty good. I'd rather him up with Newhook and Demidov, to tell you the honest truth. He's not. He hasn't been pot in the offense like he looked like he was going to get in St. Louis, but his overall game has been good. Oliver Kapanen and Kirby Dach. I almost prefer that line over the Demidov Newhook Tessier line, to tell you the honest truth. They might be able to do some damage from down there. I got to gloat over Lane Hudson this year. This guy just went from 0.5% above replacement last year in defense to 70 fucking percent, dude. Now, he doesn't play against the elite competition, but somewhere around what Darlene plays, and we'll get into that when I get into Buffalo. But he's like 62% deployment against elite competition. They do kind of avoid him and they give him a lot of offensive zone time, maybe because he's just such a freaking wizard in the offensive zone. But he's really improved a shit ton. And him and Carrier are a good match there. But once you get down to Struble and Arbor Jackeye, dude, it's just boy, that's that's not a great combo there at all. That's got to be one of the worst combos in the league, and that's I'd rather give that Reinbacher kid a shot than put Jackeye in. And I know they need physicality, and Tampa Bay is probably going to push him around, but I mean, you barely can have Jackeye on the ice. He's just not good. He's not good. He's not an NHL caliber defenseman. So if you need to get size that gives you, I mean, Caden Goulet does his job. I forgot to mention Goulet. He's very good. Very good. He's got some size to him. If you need to do that, you're going to have to address it somewhere down the line here, because that's not it. Jackie's not it. You want more size, you got to go a different way. And then not having Dobson in is tough. He didn't really – he surprised me. Last year on the island, he had a very, very – he was elite defensively last year. But if you ask Islanders fans, they'll tell you otherwise. But with what he was shackled with, he was. This year, complete opposite, actually. Really surprising, although his play driving is still exceptional and he's very good offensively. And he's a big body, which they really need. It's going to hurt not having him. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but that hurts a lot. They do not need any injuries to their defense. And, of course, Jacob Dobish, I don't know. Sort of like Volstad, Jacob Fowler gives me those not going to be rattled vibes, man. But Dobish probably the guy. He was playing really good down the stretch there. He's going to have to get playoff experience somehow, too. So, you got to kind of throw him to the wolves a little bit. Tampa Bay. Slip over to Tampa Bay. And Calvis, I mean, they have believed in this kid, and you know what? He's starting to pay off. You got to give it to this Tampa Bay team, man. One of the biggest things to me about their draft and development system is their level of fucking belief in these kids. They do not give up on them. They build them up. I mean, they find that they have this projection of what they can be, and they have the ability to mold them into the belief that they can be that. And they just do. This guy he's turned himself into a shutdown left winger. Now, he's not usually playing against elite competition all the time. They put him up and down, and they allow him to grow. But he's heading that fucking direction, man. As a 25-year-old guy, I bet you in a lot of organizations, Gage would have fallen off the vine or ended up being a fourth liner or something like that. I swear to God. He had he had holes in his game, but he had good aspects of his game, and they just worked with them and worked with them and worked with them in the AHL and they give him like opportunities to succeed, and then they, it just seems like he'll be up on that top line for 4 or 5 games, and then you'll see him down in maybe the 4th or 3rd, and sometimes not even in the lineup, and you can almost just see them like, you know what, you're going to get your chance up there. You're doing fucking awesome. Like, I don't know what they say to these guys, but they hit so often. It's fucking amazing. And they just don't give up on them. They don't give up on them. Braden Point, this is when it matters for Braden Point. He's not the player he used to be. Sorry, he's not. But when it comes down to it, this is when it matters for Brady. I don't know what happened. I think he had injuries and stuff like that. He's not a shutdown guy anymore. I just think physically he's not where he used to be at one time. And but I mean, he's still got a lot to give. He's still got an amazing shot, and he's still a money player. You need that goal. Braden's going to be there quite often. Now, again, Goncalves, is that how you say his name? He probably won't be up there. Where are they putting? Oh, they got Gunsel on the right side. Okay. So let's get to that line now. Jesus Christ. This is where Montreal just can't hold a candle. Okay. They can't hold a candle to a line like this. This is going to be the tough part for them. Hagel, Sorelli, and Gunsel may be, I'm going to flat out say it. This is the best offensively capable shutdown line in the league. No doubt about it if they keep it like this. No doubt about it. The only concern here is they're all lefties, but I don't think it matters because I think the primary role for this line is going to be shut down Suzuki and the Suzuki's line. That's going to be the main role of this, and they can fucking do it. I mean, Brandon Hagel is fucking elite. If he got a Selke one day, I would be happy for him. Anthony Sorelli, elite. And Jake Gunsel, elite. Doesn't get talked about how good Jake Gunsel is, both three zones, man. This guy scores 38 goals and he shuts down the opposition's top line. It's fucking awesome. That line is the reason why I just can't go from Tampa Bay here. I just can't do it when you got a line like that. And not only that, I mean, you can throw the regular season out. Once it's crunch time, this team is totally different. Gord, Nick, Paul, and Gergensons for a third line, that is pretty stacked. Montreal, I'm sorry, doesn't have anything to combat that third line. Right now, they're still growing as a team. They're going to be excellent. I'm not saying they're not going to be. They're going to be amazing as they keep on building this team. But there's a reason why Montreal didn't pony up first and something to go find themselves a second line center this year. Because they know they're not ready for prime time. They may win this series. I'm not saying it's impossible. At the price of plus 110, I get why anybody's taking Montreal. I get it, just from a value standpoint alone. I mean, it's a little disrespectful to that Montreal team that has a lot of great players on it. No doubt about it. But when it comes right down to it, the pedigree that these guys have, you got Corey Perry, throw him on the power play sometimes, a pot some or whatever. Dominic James and Oliver Bjorkstrand on your fourth line. I'll tell you, let me go read out that fourth line for Montreal again. No. Oh, that wasn't bad, actually. What am I talking about? But that's one hell of a fourth line. That's fucking one hell of a fourth line. And then when you get to their defense, look, here you go again about seeing the development system and what this fucking organization does. When they traded for Moser, when they traded Sergachev for Moser, and again, another guy that they're taking it easy with and growing, and it'll end up being absolutely fantastic. Connor Geeky. Honestly, I didn't think Moser could be what he is now. I didn't see it. And here's this guy building himself up to being a top pair defenseman in the NHL and doing it very, very well. Without where is he? Without Hedman. And it doesn't look like Hedman's going to be in either, right? That's going to be a tough part. But he's played extremely well. Darren Radish, again, there's a guy. Where did he come from? I'll tell you where he came from. They built this guy up through the AHL, and I heard them saying, Darren's going to be a top right D, and you could almost hear the people snickering as they were saying it. When he was like 26 years old and he was still in the fucking minors, and they were saying he's going to be a top right D. He's going to be a top right D, straight face, clear as day. Here he fucking is, dude. And yeah, he's got a great shot. He's got a great shot. But what's the best way to play Tampa Bay? I'll get into that in a second as well. That's a good question. He's got a great shot, but he's more than that. He's good all-around defenseman. I mean, I don't know. Unless he takes a haircut, I'm not sure Tampa Bay is going to be able to sign this guy, man. Really am not sure. And that would be too bad. They've worked so hard to get this guy to where he is. Maybe he'll just buy into that. You know, like they said, they don't give up on their prospects. And that goes a long way when you're coming to contract time and you know these guys never gave up on you. Darren Radish looked like he had holes in his game. He's not the greatest skater in the world. It looked like there was holes in his game. It took him a long time, but they kept on working with him. As long as he was coachable and he was trying his balls off, they believed him and stuck with him. And I wouldn't be surprised that you're going to see a number that he gets this year in Tampa Bay and go, what? That's it? Holy fuck. Because of that. Because when you got a team that believed in you like that, if he was in another organization, he may never have got, more than 100 games in. They would have gave up on him a long time ago. And here's this now. He's 30 years old and he's fucking rocking this shit. And I think I think a player like him, like Darren Radish, can look at his organization and say, you know what? I mean, I owe you guys a lot. So watch. I wouldn't doubt that they sign him for a number that's extremely reasonable. I'd have to look at their cap space again. I don't remember. I don't know what they would be able to do. But Ryan McDonough just keeps doing it at 36. Just keeps shutting down the opposition. Still there. Chernak is a little overrated, actually. I have to tell you that. Yeah, he is. But his size is always important. 6'4", 229. Especially in the playoffs. This is where Chernak matters. Regular season, you're not getting the best out of Chernak. But this is when Chernak matters. When you're going up against a smaller, fast Montreal team like this, this is when Chernak matters. This is when Chernak's got to pace people to the boards and burn them out over a series. Ass toast, man. Charles Edward Ass Toast. Dastu, as they say it in French. He's right out of nowhere, 28 years old. Just putting it down, dude. He's going to have a contract in his hand next year. Like, they just don't stop with these guys. They just don't stop. They play the same system in Tampa Bay. Everybody knows the system. It's they play a man-on-man hybrid defensive zone system like Florida, like Buffalo now, that it really relies on people being aware of it. You got to grow into it, kind of knowing where each other are on the ice. It's a very it's important for that. And Emil Lilleberg, he's a good third pair guy. This defense is very, 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 very good. And of course, you got Vasilevsky. I don't even need to say anything about that. And you still got Pontus Holmberg, who looks like he's healthy. They're not going to healthy scratch him, are they? I don't know why you would do that. He's a great shutdown winger. Very, very good. Toronto just let him go for fucking nothing. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. But anyways, I'm going with Tampa Bay. One more year Montreal growth yet. But I think that's all I'm going to do today, boys and girls. It's like midnight now. But I got one more What's the other one? I went into the ones that aren't even going to be on tomorrow, didn't I? I should have did the ones that are specifically going to be on for the series tomorrow. Maybe I'll look at one more series here. I did the Flyers, Penguins. Okay, I'll do the Wild Stars and then we'll get out. And then I'll talk more about the other series tomorrow. I'll talk about the Buffalo series and stuff tomorrow night because we will be on tomorrow night. But the Wild versus Stars. Okay, let's take a look at that. Minnesota Wild with the curse. And I don't really call it a curse. I call it not really just being in a really tough division and not having the team to be able to do it. They just being a slow of the other teams. It's a curse. It's just you're not as good as a lot, but this year maybe a little different. I believe he's 29 already. Came into the league late. It just feels like his career's like should be just taking off. Yeah, he's 29 already. Ryan Hartman. I mean, he's more important than the playoffs, I guess. I mean, I love watching him play. Nobody plays with more intensity, more competitive. Nobody's more competitive. Competitiveness is what's kept Ryan Hartman in the league. His overall game is, he does with what he's got as much as he can. He gets the puck on net as much as he can. He finds his spots the best he can. He's very coachable, very likable, diehard loyal. Like, you got to love a guy like that. But his overall game is, pretty meh, to tell you the honest truth. I was going to look at it. I haven't looked at it in a while. I wonder if he's – it kind of scares me you got a guy like that. He's not a guy that should be playing on your top line, man. He drives offense not bad, but he's one of those character guys that you got to have in your team though too. I just don't like him on the top. They got to find somebody to play on that top. Yeah, tomorrow morning you'll get more of my bets, but you're kind of getting an idea here. Like I like Tampa Bay in 6, stuff like that. I'm just breaking down the series. You kind of get an idea what I am series wise. For the games tomorrow, I'm not gonna steal away their thunder. That's a great show. You can watch that show either recorded or whatever. We start at 10 in the morning. And I still got things I don't know about this series, but go over it quick. Kaprizov, Hartman, and Zuccarello. I mean, that's put a lot of work on Kaprizov there. Zuccarello's good, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he's dragging that line around pretty much. Johansson, Eriksson, and Ekin-Boldy is a great shutdown line. Yeah, you know what? The more I look at this, I can't take many. I just can't. Can't do it. I love a lot of guys on this team. I love Kaprizov. I love Ek. I love Boldy for playoffs. But when you get into like Tarasenko down there in the third line and Danila Yurov is looking like he's going to be a darn good player, but he's still a kid. And Trenin, what the fuck are you doing with Trenin there? You're seriously going to sit Bobby Brink and keep Trenin in just for size? I don't know. But, I mean, loves me some Marcus Foligno. Really do. And Nick Foligno. I just love those guys. Love. Of course, Quinn Hughes, high flying offense. He's always going to create and all of that kind of stuff like that. Jared Spurgeon, solid, still 36 years old, puts it out there. As long as they stay healthy, he stays healthy. Brodeen's a good shutdown guy. Love Middleton down here in the third spot, much better than when he was playing higher in the lineup. Defense is solid. And yeah, Jesper Wallstedt. But the more I think about it, I'll give you a series play. I think I'm going to take Mini to win in the first game. So there's a play for you. Mini to win tomorrow and Dallas to win the series. The more I look at it, the more I've taken a look at it, I just feel that Dallas will get her done. I do like Jesper Wallstedt, though. Yeah. I think it'll get close. And I said before, no goals first five under 6.5 in this game tomorrow. Dallas. I'll go over Dallas real quick. And Wyatt Johnson. They got Sam. Are they going back to that? Why is Sam Steele up there? Not really loving Sam Steele up there on the top line, but Rantanen is bought in this year. I never thought I'd hear it say that, but he has. He's really bought into Gullick's system quite a bit. Wyatt Johnson, he's still young. I think he's shown capable of buying in. But in the regular season, he hasn't been about that. Jason Robertson, Duchesne, and Maverick Bourque. Maverick Bourque has really grown into himself. But we'll see what kind of offense he's going to bring in this series. But I think he's a good player, no doubt about that. I don't mind him flanking Matt Duchesne here. I think they're really putting a lot of they're putting a lot of weight on Robertson and Rantanen in these two lines for sure. I mean, they're the ones running these lines, no doubt about it. Michael Bunting, Rakovian, and Jamie Benn. I mean, maybe for this round, Jamie Benn, I'll tell you, Jamie Benn and Matt Duchesne, by the time the third round comes, they're done. I'm telling you right now, this team is not winning the cup. No way. They're done third round if they happen to make it. Don't mind Bunting. I mean, this team does never excites me, but they seem to always get it done. Oh, it looks like Miro Heiskanen's going to be in. Holy shit. Yeah, you got to take Dallas. I mean, just gotta take Dallas for the series. But Lindell and Lindell's like one of the best shutdown defensemen in the league. No doubt about that. Heiskanen, same thing. I mean, those two guys on the ice all the time, it's going to be pretty tough to be able to do anything. Niels Lundqvist has for sure had a career year this year. He's been absolutely fantastic this year for a big bump in his performance. And Thomas Harley. Yeah, the more I look on this, it's Dallas. I gotta get on Dallas at minus 120. I'm going to take Dallas to win the series. I'm going to take Mini to win the first game, and and Dallas to win the series. A little bit on that. But the more I look at it, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe sometimes I get starry-eyed with guys I really love, like Kaprizov, Eck, and Boldy. But the overall lineup still leaves something to be, a little bit to be desired. All right, I'll do the rest of the games tomorrow, my friends. It's hardly over blocks. Okay, buddy, I'll do that. I'll do the rest of the games tomorrow. Be on tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Thanks for coming on, everybody. Oh, you got one more day. $80 for VIP. I just crushed yesterday. Swag crushed in baseball today. He went 5-1. Excellent baseball capper. You get all that full calendar year for life. So, like, if you were to buy today, what is it, the 17th? Next year on the 17th, it would only be $80. Again, for all the baseball, all NHL, all playoffs, all everything. $80 for premium. For VIP, it's $50 a year, dude. It's like pennies on the dollar. And it goes to the Chaffing Fund, don't you know? Hymes Body Lube, it's the best. I said it. Spring arrangement is here. Big lavender, lots of lavender this year. Really popular this year, the lavender. But yeah, you get baseball and hockey picks for one more day. And I got a new project coming up, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to probably be something that is going to get a lot of exposure. And that price is going to go up a lot. So you really want to hit it. This is the reason why I gave it to you guys, is because you followed me for a long time, and I want you to have something for people that have followed me for a long time. That's my full 42, though, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Exotic Wagers on his channel, Exotic Wagers. And, of course, my channel is Pearlo's NHL POW. Wagers with the Z. I almost spelled it wrong. Exotic Wagers. Just search it on YouTube or go to @Exotic Wagers on Twitter, and you can get his link there. See you tomorrow morning.